Have you ever wondered why diplomatic relations between nations can suddenly turn sour? As we navigate the complex web of international politics, diplomacy becomes our compass. It shapes, guides, and sometimes even dictates the course of events. But what happens when this compass starts to wobble, as we've seen in the recent diplomatic discord between President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu? This isn't just a political tussle. It's a ripple effect that could potentially impact the entire globe. So, let's delve into the recent rift between President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and understand the reasons behind this diplomatic fallout. The discord between Biden and Netanyahu did not occur overnight. Indeed, it's a chasm that's been widening over time, shaped by a series of key events that have brought these diverging perspectives into sharp relief. Our story begins with President Biden's public criticism of Israel's approach to the conflict with Hamas. He didn't mince words, expressing concern that Israel was losing international support due to its indiscriminate bombing in Gaza. He also voiced his belief that the Israeli government was not interested in a two-state solution. This led to a response from Prime Minister Netanyahu, who admitted to disagreeing with Biden's vision for the future of Gaza. Despite the disagreement, he expressed optimism, a hope for reaching some form of agreement. However, as the civilian death toll in Gaza began to rise, the differences between the US and Israel became starker, more pronounced. The Biden administration urged Israel to plan for the post-war situation in Gaza, calling for the opening of the Kerem Shalom border crossing to allow humanitarian aid into the region. Yet, Israel resisted these requests. It cut off all commercial and humanitarian aid traffic from Israel into Gaza, further fueling the tension between the two nations. While both leaders express hope for an agreement, their starkly different views on the situation in Gaza have driven a wedge between their nations. The rift has emerged and its implications are far-reaching. And as we continue to watch this situation unfold, we're left to wonder, what will be the global impact of this diplomatic discord? The escalating tensions between the US and Israel have not gone unnoticed by the international community. These differences, once simmering behind closed diplomatic doors, have now spilled into the public arena, and the world is paying close attention. The major point of contention lies in the heart of the Gaza Strip. The international community watches with growing concern as Israel's hardline approach, characterized by indiscriminate bombing, is causing a tragic rise in civilian deaths. This aggressive stance is leading to a significant loss of international support for Israel. Nations around the globe are questioning not just the ethics but also the long-term viability of such an approach. President Biden, leading one of Israel's staunchest allies, the United States, has not shied away from public criticism. He voices the concerns of many when he questions Israel's seeming disregard for a two-state solution. His administration is urging Israel to look beyond the immediate conflict and plan for post-war Gaza. The Biden administration's call for the opening of the Kerem Shalom border crossing for humanitarian aid has been met with resistance from Israel. This resistance is not just creating a rift with the United States, but it's sending ripples through the international community. Aid organizations and nations alike are frustrated by the blockage of commercial and humanitarian traffic from Israel into Gaza. The world watches as two leaders, President Biden and Prime Minister Netanyahu, navigate these turbulent diplomatic waters. The stakes are high, and the impact of this diplomatic rift goes far beyond the borders of the US and Israel. It is influencing international relations, shifting alliances, and redefining the global political landscape. This diplomatic rift is not just a bilateral issue, but a matter of international concern. With each passing day, the world watches and waits, as the decisions made today will shape the geopolitical landscape of tomorrow. These diplomatic tensions go beyond the realm of international politics and have significant domestic implications. In the United States, President Biden's public criticism of Israel's government and Prime Minister Netanyahu's approach to the Gaza conflict has the potential to reshape the long-standing American support for Israel. With the rising civilian death toll in Gaza, Biden's stance could resonate with those who have been advocating for a more balanced American approach towards the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. However, this could also alienate a portion of the American populace that firmly supports Israel, potentially leading to a shift in the political landscape. On the other side of the world, in Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu's steadfast resistance to Biden's call for humanitarian aid into Gaza, and his reluctance to consider a two-state solution, could impact his political standing. While his firm stance may bolster his reputation among hardliners, it could also isolate him from those seeking a peaceful resolution to the conflict. Furthermore, the visible strain in relations with the United States, a key ally, might raise questions about Netanyahu's diplomatic acumen. The nuances of this diplomatic rift underscore the intricate relationship between international and domestic politics. For Biden, his stance could redefine the United States' role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, while potentially influencing the political sentiments at home. For Netanyahu, his decisions not only shape Israel's international relations, but also the political dynamics within his own country. The divergence in their approaches to the Gaza conflict serves as a testament to the complexities of international politics, where each leader must balance the demands of diplomacy with the expectations of their domestic constituencies. The ongoing rift also highlights how the decisions made on the international stage can reverberate within the domestic political sphere, shaping public opinion and potentially influencing future policy directions. The diplomatic fallout between Biden and Netanyahu is a potent reminder of how international relations can impact domestic politics. The diplomatic rift between Biden and Netanyahu is a complex issue with far-reaching implications. The timeline of events paints a vivid picture of escalating tensions, with Biden's public critique of Israel's approach towards the conflict with Hamas, and Netanyahu's hopeful, yet resistant response. As we've delved into, the global impact of this rift is significant. Israel's actions in Gaza, particularly its indiscriminate bombing and blockade of humanitarian aid, have led to a loss of international support and have put the spotlight on the country's stance towards a two-state solution. The political ramifications are equally profound. The Biden administration's call for planning the post-war situation in Gaza and the opening of the Kerem Shalom border crossing has met resistance from Israel, revealing a widening gap in their diplomatic relations. This public disagreement between two major world leaders is more than just a passing headline. It's a shift in the geopolitical landscape, a testament to the complexities of international diplomacy, and a reminder of the profound impact that these decisions can have on nations and their people. As the world watches this diplomatic drama unfold, one thing is clear. The decisions made by these two leaders will have lasting effects on their nations and the world at large.